Good night and welcome to Benalmádena's first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. The mayor of Benalmádena, Victor Navas, spoke about the campaign of controlling information for personal mobility vehicles carried out by the local police last week that resulted in 300 interventions and 60 sanctions.
The local police of Benalmádena carry out a campaign of control and information for personal mobility vehicles conducted in the municipality from August 22nd to 26, which sought to strengthen its commitment to the monitoring of such vehicles to enhance the protection of pedestrians against their irregular use. This week, we spoke with the mayor of Benalmádena, Victor Navas, who assessed positively the results of the action. With this campaign, we reinforce our commitment to the surveillance and control of this type of vehicles to enhance the protection of pedestrians against their irregular use. Static controls have been established in the 3 urban centers of Benalmádena with special emphasis on the 2 major traffic arteries of the town, the Avenida de la Constitución in Arroyo de la Miel and Antonio Machado in Benalmádena Costa, areas where a large number of pedestrians are concentrated and therefore there is a great interaction this type of vehicle. He also emphasized the awareness work being done by the police. Most of the 60 complaints issued were for driving on the sidewalks, compromising the safety of pedestrians. We were surprised that many of the people report were unaware that they could not ride scooters on the sidewalks. It is important to highlight the great work done by the local police, that it is putting emphasis on raising awareness tasks among citizens. The control was carried out in the form of static controls with agents directly located on the public roads and dynamic when the agents detected the presence of these vehicles during their rounds by car. In the static controls, a total of 204 vehicles were controlled and 57 complaints were filed, and in the dynamic controls, there were 95 vehicles and 3 complaints were issued.
After closing the second quarter of the year, the security area and the local police took stock of the penalties imposed for non-compliance with municipal ordinance, highlighting the work done by the Delta unit. Security
Councilman Javier Marín and the head of the local police, Francisco Zamora, held a press conference last week at City Hall to take stock of the penalties imposed for non-compliance with municipal ordinances during the second quarter of 2022. The commitment to a more comprehensive control of compliance with municipal ordinances was initiated years ago to meet one of the main demands of the citizenship. In addition to the control of road safety, one of the main competencies of the local police is to ensure compliance with municipal ordinances. During the second quarter of 2022, a total of 282 complaints were filed, of which 246 were initiated by the Delta unit. I want to thank the entire staff of the local police for their work and commitment to making life easier for residents and visitors. In the second quarter, the Delta unit carried out a total of 472 actions, of which only half ended in sanctions, demonstrating the informative and pedagogical work about compliance with the rules they perform, resorting to the sanction only in the last instance. The ordinances related to animals and the disposal of furniture are the ones that accumulate more incidents. Although breaches related to the possession of potentially dangerous dogs continue to be the most frequent, they are progressively decreasing thanks to the control work carried out. There have been 37 sanctions for leaving furniture in the middle of the street at the wrong time. It is necessary to highlight this aspect because the image we project is very negative when neighbors and visitors come across this furniture abandoned in the streets, something that a tourist town like Benalmádena cannot be allowed. The councilman also spoke about other sections such as urbanism with 39 sanctions, openings with 33, and occupation of public roads 20. Finally, he compared the data from other years, making a positive assessment. In comparison with the previous quarter, 46 more complaints were registered due to the increase in the areas of urbanism, openings, public roads and advertising. And compared with the previous year, we had a decrease due to the drop in complaints regarding potentially dangerous dogs and citizen coexistence. I also want to thank the sanctions area for their work in mobilizing all the files made by the agents of the local police. For his part, Zamora highlighted the work that is being done in terms of animal ordinances. I want to highlight the weight that the actions related to pets have in the statistics. Benalmádena has a very high census of pets, and this leads us to strengthen the control of these ordinances in the interest of coexistence and respect for the rest of citizens. In this sense, not all are complaints, and more than 50% are warnings and recommendations to pet owners.
Once again this year, Benalmádena hosts the Costa del Sol Trophy, also known as the 24 Nautic Hours, a traditional competition on our coast that celebrates its 11th edition.
The manager of the Sport Harbor, Manuel Jiménez, and the sports director of the Nautic Club, Sergio González, accompanied by the director of Tourism, Development and Planning Costa del Sol, Pedro Barrio Nuevo, present yesterday a new edition of the 24 Hours of Benalmádena Trophy Costa del Sol that is being held this weekend. Jiménez took the opportunity to thank Tourism and Planning Costa del Sol for the efforts promoting the Blue Trail. Once again, the sailing and nautical world will put their eye on Benalmádena with an event that merges sports and leisure and that always has a good reception. On this edition, we expect the participation of around 20 boats. Regarding the weather, the forecast is good, and there will be enough wind so that sailboats can go out and participants enjoy the days. I want to thank Tourism and Planning Costa del Sol for the very important work they do to promote sailing through the new program Senda Azul. González valued the good weather forecast. The weather forecasts are very good, with a westerly wind perfect for sailing, starting with a medium wind that will increase throughout the day. We will start on Saturday with a breakfast for the participants, then we will hold the skippers' meeting to explain the course and format of the regatta, which has the peculiarity that a boat can stop at any time of the day to lower and raise crew members or get out of the competition. On Saturday, the race will run from 12 to 9 p.m., a period in which participants must achieve the highest number of laps around the circuit. On Sunday, the race will run from 9 in the morning to 1 p.m. The sailing tournament for cruiser class in categories Org 1, Org 2, Org 3 and Free will start on Friday with the opening of the regatta office for registration of participants. The trophy ceremony is scheduled for Sunday at 2 p.m. The competition, which has been organized one more year by the Club Náutico Marítimo de Benalmádena and the Marina, is sponsored by BMW Automotor with the sponsorship of Senda Azul.
After 2 hard years enduring the COVID restrictions, it seems that Spain is already recovering the numbers previous to the pandemic, with positive data on public transport use and employment.
The number of people using public transport in Andalucía has been increasing steadily and now stands at 86% of pre-pandemic levels. The Metropolitan Travel Card was used by 32.44 million passengers in the first half of this year, which was over 12 million more than in the same period in 2021 and an increase of nearly 60%. The increase has been general in Andalucía, although Málaga with an 80.4% rise and Almería with 70% stand out above the rest. The figures include the metropolitan and urban bus services in the 8 provinces of Andalucía, the underground in Seville, Málaga and Granada, and local train services in Cádiz, which were recently incorporated, among others. The use of metropolitan bus passes in the region went up by 64.9% compared with last year to 16.7 million journeys. Travel on urban buses also increased with 5.5 million journeys and a growth of 40%. The underground services in Seville, Malaga, and Granada were used by 17 million passengers in the first 6 months of this year, which was an increase of 77%. The use of the Metropolitan Travel Card on underground services rose by 69.2% to over 10 million journeys. In June, the number of active travel cards in the region rose to 2.5 million for the first time, and this was 18,417 more than the month before. Meanwhile, in job-related data, we have more good news. In March 2020, thousands of workers in Malaga province were furloughed because of the coronavirus pandemic, but the number has now dropped significantly, according to figures just issued by the government's subdelegate office. Those startling statistics from May 2020, when the Spanish government paid out 130.6 million euros to 125,645 furloughed workers, are now a thing of the past. Last month, only 840 people in our province were still furloughed, and the amount paid out by the State Public Employment Service dropped to around 45,000 euros. Since March 2020, when the COVID-19 lockdown began in Spain, more than 772 million euros have been paid to 146,325 furloughed workers. As a result, the amounts paid out by SEPE to furloughed workers also dropped from 28.2 million euros in April last year to 3.2 million in December. And this year, the reduction has been even more pronounced, beginning in January with 6,664 furloughed workers and dropping to 840 in July. In Andalucía, the amount of money paid to furloughed workers during the pandemic has been 2,279 million euros, nearly 34% of which was for those in Malaga province. The figures also show that 25.4% of the more than 576,000 furloughed workers in Andalucía since March 2020 were in Malaga.
The Festival of Legends will bring tributes to Phil Collins, Michael Jackson, Queen, Pink Floyd or ABBA, among others, to the Municipal Auditorium during September and early October.
The Festival of Legends returns to the Municipal Auditorium in September after a summer break. Festivities Councilwoman Pilar Ramírez and the organizer Alberto Cohen present the event that will bring tribute concerts to our municipality from September the 3rd until early October. Ramírez highlighted that the festival will fill the auditorium with unforgettable songs from music legends. The Festival of Legends will present a great program integrated by a range of great artists who will fill the stage with unforgettable songs of music legends such as Phil Collins, Michael Jackson, Queen, Pink Floyd or ABBA. So we will put the finishing touch to the summer with the best atmosphere and the best music. For his part, Alberto Cohen highlighted the programming that, as a novelty in this last stretch, will add an accompaniment of dance numbers to many of the events. The festival will kick off on September 3rd with a tribute concert to pop legends Phil Collins, Tina Turner, Robbie Williams and Bee Gees. On September 11th, there will be a concert that will bring together tributes to Michael Jackson, Bruce Springsteen and The Police. On the 17th, the auditorium will host a tribute to Queen. On the 18th, there will be an evening dedicated to magic with Pablo Cánovas, disciple of the magician Pop, with a very visual show suitable for the whole family and understandable for all languages. On September 23rd, there will be a tribute to Pink Floyd, and on September 24th, there will be a tribute to Spanish pop. The festival will close September 30th with a tribute to ABBA, Cher and the band Back to the 80s, which will tour the great songs of the 80s. He also explained that the program offers shows for all types of audiences and announced a special offer for citizens registered in Benalmádena. The festival program is focused on all audiences with tributes to artists who have marked the history of music. We have created a special offer of 2 tickets for the price of 20 euros for both residents registered in Benalmádena and for retirees and pensioners, a very affordable price to ensure that everyone can enjoy the shows. The promoter also announced another offer in view of the cruise dedicated to the Beatles organized for November, where there will be a discount of €100 per cabin for residents registered in Benalmádena, retirees and pensioners.
And these are today's headlines. Control campaign for personal mobility vehicles. Marín values the work of the security area. Benalmádena celebrates the Costa del Sol Nautic Trophy. Positive data on mobility and employment. Music for all tastes with the Festival of Legends. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with cloudy skies in the morning with medium and high nubosidity, without ruling out scattered showers, leaving the skies slightly cloudy or clear in the afternoon. Temperatures will drop with lows of 21 degrees and highs of 30. Winds from the west occasionally strong on the coast in the afternoon. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profile on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend.